everyone, it's Caroline here, and I'm joined by the lovely Campbell, and I'll get her to introduce herself soon. And we're just going to talk a little bit about reading actually, and our reflections from a book that Campbell has read, and just how it kind of applies to our daily life, especially when it comes to personal development, empowering women, empowering ourselves. And how sometimes reading can kind of spark off really cool ideas and things that we can use and apply to our life. So I'm going to let Campbell introduce herself. Tell us your name and what you do and your involvement with She Is You.
Okay, my name's Campbell Fan and Steele. I'm from America and I am studying abroad here in London. It's been 6 weeks and I'm doing a program internship with She Is You, so I'm like the social media marketing intern, just along those lines, and it's been really fun. And I have read this book that's called Everything I Know About Love, and it's been really insightful, not only to my general life but to my experiences with study abroad.
Nice. Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. So yes, as Campbell said, you can hear from the accent. She's on a study abroad program, and typically with She Is You, the last couple of years, we always kind of have an intern. It's always about pouring into the next generation, and the benefits have been huge. So I'll probably speak about that later. But today we're here to talk about this book called Everything I Know About Love by a British journalist or personality.
Yes, she's an author.
She's an author called Dolly Alderton.
Yes.
And Campbell literally just finished reading the book just before starting her internship. And one of the things I would ask, actually, that I wanted to ask you is what was your kind of key highlight from the book? Because just to kind of let people know that haven't read it, it very much speaks to female friendships. And so it's a memoir that Dolly kind of has taken us on a journey when she was in her late 20s. And she talks about the importance of female friendships within the book. And so that's really why I want to speak about it, but also because of the significance that it's kind of had in terms of your journey as well. So to my question, what would you say has been your key highlight from reading the book? What was your key takeaway?
Yes, my key takeaway, there's many lessons in the book, but a big one, and this is the line that's kind of famous in the book, is everything she knows about love is she's learned in her long-term relationships with women.
Friendships.
Yes, friendships. The whole book, she goes throughout the friendship with Farley, which is her best friend, and they live in London together, and they're doing all these new things, like living in this new area in London, and just grappling the intricacies of London life and being in your 20s, so young. So it's maybe a little bit of a spoiler, but not really. At the end of the book, she tells you basically love is all around you. It just might not be the romantic kind, and I think a lot of people my age especially need to realize that. And someone just kind of has to tell you, no, love is all around you.
That's a great thing, because you spoke about kind of female friendships there, and discovering actually that love is all around us. So in terms of your time here as well on this program, and having to maybe establish new friendships, it's maybe an unfamiliar territory to you as well. Was there anything from the book that kind of spoke volumes in terms of your real life experience now, and having to enter into a new country and thinking about actually I have to maybe develop new friendships, speak to new people? Is there anything significant that's come out from your experience in that way?
Yes. So when I got to the parts of Dolly finally letting us know everything she knows about love, and it's her friendships with women, I was like, she's right. I never thought about it in that way, because I was thinking about love as the romantic kind, and oh, I don't have it. Never really had it. So I was always thinking about love in that sense. But then she explains everything she knows about love is not the romantic kind. It's what she knows within her friendships with women. And I saw that coming into here, meeting all these new girls in my apartment and program. And we've all been hanging out, visiting different countries together. And it makes me realize that's what you have to embrace when you move to a new city for a longer period of time. You have to create those friendships, and not leave the ones behind that you had in your old environment, but almost like blossom into this new friendship, because at the end of the day, they're here, and the people that, you know, in the old environment, they're not. So you have to just embrace the love that you guys can all bring together, and especially in a new city, which is so fun. It's better meeting someone in a new city and becoming friends with them than just like in the old city doing the same thing over again and blossoming. So it's been really fun, and I'm sad to leave them. Hopefully it'll be a friendship that stays for a longer period of time.
So like, tell us practically, like, what did you feel like you had to do? Was there any kind of like mental barrier that you had to break in terms of approaching like friendships in a new way, like for you? What was your step-by-step, if you can think about like what it is that you felt like you needed to do in order to establish those new friendships, like in a different country?
Yes, so it's definitely interesting, because obviously you are from two different spots, and especially not even just Americans. Like I've met some like locals here that have been fun, who might be older or the same age as me, and you have to first of all adapt to their lifestyle too, because it might be different, and also just learn how they do things, and maybe not change those things by yourself, but adapt yourself to how they do some things, because that's just how friendship is. It has to be equal capacity, like in terms of the friendship,
reciprocal,
like giving. And Dolly also talks about that in her book. It's a line that is so, it sounds like poetry, but I can't recall. It's something that if love is not reciprocal, let me be the more loving one, or something. So I try to live by that a lot too.
Let's speak about that actually. That's really, let's emphasize, because that's you're speaking about kind of you're not approaching it from a place of it's always got to be like equal, but it's rather kind of coming from a place of let me give what I feel like I can give, without putting the limitations on, right? And how do you feel that has served you in approaching friendships in that way, and what?
That's after reading that line and I highlighted it, I was like, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it's better to be in my opinion, it's better, obviously equal capacity is the best option. In general, just for anyone in relationships, that's what should happen. But at the end of the day, it's also better to be the one that cares more, I feel like, because at least you don't have any regrets, and you know you're being the kindest, most fulfilled person that you can give this friendship to. So honestly, if I'm the one that cares more, it's like, well, at least I care. Because like showing you care is cool. Like it's not like acting like you don't. It's just like, that's not how you do it. And that's not fun for anyone. In the friendship or relationship even.
That's really, I love that. So you're kind of speaking from a place of giving and a place of approaching your friendships as almost like a place of service. You know?
Almost, it's like
how would you say?
I would say it's like a place of service is a good wording. It's almost like I do these nice things and like say these nice things, and 90% of the time I would say people usually give it back, which is, I honestly just think how you get the best out of a friendship is you have to give it your all, and if the person doesn't, well, at least you did.
At least you know that you did.
And then, if they're not, you can leave. So, I think that's just how I go about it. And after reading the specific line in Dolly's book, it just confirmed that being the one that is more loving or cares more is, at the end of the day, I think it's better, in my opinion.
And wouldn't it be such a beautiful thing if both parties, like say you're talking about platonic friendship where there's two people involved, like two close friends, right? And both came into it with that sort of mentality in wanting to kind of give. Right? Wouldn't that just be such a beautiful kind of setup? And I think maybe there are times through just general life experiences, people can come into things maybe with their guard up, because of not wanting to come into a place where you feel like you are hurt. Or you've maybe gone through like, bad friendships in the past. But I think just to your point,
yes.
if both parties came into it with that kind of brand new, you know, fresh perspective and like, actually, I'm just going to kind of throw myself at this.
Yeah, I think, it's definitely, I definitely think it's possible. My best friend back home, who I've had like best friends for like 18, it's been like 18 years, two of my best friends, but my other best friend I've known, I don't know, maybe like 3 years, 4 years, and she's proven more to me in the last 4 years than these others in the last 18 years have sometimes. So it's like, if you both give, the time doesn't matter. It's just how you guys you two are both acting towards the friendship. That's special. Yeah. So it's really interesting to think about.
That's lovely. And I think like friendships kind of go through phases as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we go through different stages and phases of relationships too, and friendships, and I think it's important for us to also give ourselves a bit of grace when it comes to this, right? Because life is a real thing, and sometimes life can serve us different things, and that can affect maybe how we show up in our friendships. But I think just being present and consistent is also a really important thing too. So love that.
Yeah,
so I guess
it's super interesting.
So just to say, like, maybe just to kind of bring things to a close, is around coming back to the book. I guess if there was any kind of like 3 takeaways that you took from the book, that you would share to somebody else, maybe that's kind of on a similar path to you, kind of, you know, starting your life, early 20s, right? Kind of having all these brand new experiences, navigating what it means to be a woman. Anything that you would kind of share in terms of takeaways?
Yes, there's definitely a bunch. And I think I would consider myself lucky because I read it literally going into my 20s. Like, I'm 20 years old now. So I have all this information until, you know, for the rest of my life, I guess. Yes. So I would say the big ones is obviously it's the big famous line. Nearly everything I learned know about love, I learned from my long-term friendships with women. And she kind of goes on that, it's like, love is all around you, it's just not the romantic kind. So that's definitely one of them. And then another one is obviously, I wish I could remember the exact wording of the line, but it's like, it was something along the lines of, if there can be equal capacity, let me be the one that loves more. At the end, I mean, you might end up, you know, hurting or upset because of it, but at least you know you have no regrets, and that you gave love everywhere to anyone. And then the third one is, this is kind of a one that I just tell myself if I'm having a bad day or anything, is there's one where it's like, life is so bad, unreasonable, unfair, and I wish I don't remember the exact lines, but it's at the end of the day, it's come down to the intricacies of it's good and bad luck. And I think that is,
I saw that bit. So,
I think it's so true. I'm like, honestly, it makes me feel better, because if I'm like having a bad day, it's like, it's just bad luck. Like, you just get what you take. So
I think even more than that, it speaks to the fact that we are imperfect beings, and sometimes it just comes down to the fact that we are imperfect beings, and sometimes we do imperfect things. Definitely. And so,
and that's just how it is.
That's just sometimes just how it is, you know. So that's a lovely kind of 3 takeaways. And I think it's just important for us to also think about the fact that, like, when you speak about that love is all around us, it's not saying that we have to negate maybe like romantic relationships or anything like that, but it's also just emphasizing the fact that actually love doesn't always need to be found within a romantic relationship. It can be found in other ways as well. Like, it can be found through family, it can be found through friends, it can be found through colleagues, you know, so not limiting our experience of love down to a romantic relationship, I think is also really important too.
Yes, and it's definitely, you can definitely take the lessons in her book and drive it into your life, which in my opinion would make your life better, just like your mindset, but there's still gonna be like bad luck that happens to you, and because that's just how it is.
But we want to lean on the good luck side,
yes,
right?
Yes, but we want
to lean on the good,
we want to take those
but
insights.
we go through life, there's always ups and downs.
Yes.
Otherwise, is it really life? And I think we grow more through those kind of down. For me, in my experience anyway, I think my growth has definitely come through the hardships and the kind of bad experiences in life. But it's nice to have the good and the bad, right?
Yeah,
it's
it
nice
kind
to
of reminds you that, like, this is like touch a wall and like, this is earth. Like, you have to, like, it's just life.
Right.
Yeah, so I like that quote too.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to share? Anything in terms of your own, like, personal development? Anything that you would like to share with the audience about just your journey in terms of development? Or would you like to leave it there?
I mean, obviously, I've definitely grown a lot study abroad. It made me realize that I just kind of have to, after I finish college, obviously I would like to move out of my hometown in America, whether it's still in America or international. That would be so cool. But yeah, I think studying abroad has just made me realize I've outgrown so many things, and that's okay, because you still have this, like, love for yourself and love for outgrowing these things, and I still have it within myself, but I need to find it within different areas and environments instead of the old environment.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice, I love that. Okay, on that note, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
We'll close it there. Thank you for listening, everyone. And yeah, if you enjoyed this conversation and you have any reflections, please just let us know. You can comment or like and share the video. But we just thought it'd be a nice little conversation to have about friendships, as we were talking about the book earlier on. So thank you for watching. Bye.